Great. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2024 Free Expression Committee. Really appreciate you all being here. At this point, the Committee on Free Expression is called to order. Rachel, do we have a quorum?
Yes, Chair, we have a quorum.
I'd like to thank all of the committee members for taking time to join me today. I really appreciate all that you've done. We have a fairly straightforward agenda today. We need to approve the minutes from last year. Then we need to talk about this year's report. Also, we need an update from our council before approving the report on changes to the law, and then we will go.
You've muted yourself, Chad.
No, I didn't. They specifically muted me. So apparently whatever I was saying frustrated our team so much that they muted me. All that being stated, we'll move right into the agenda, which is the committee members received the minutes for the July 31st, 2023 Committee on Free Expression meeting. Are there any questions or comments from the committee regarding the minutes? If not, I move that the Committee on Free Expression approve the minutes from the July 31st, 2023 meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor approve by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Any abstentions? All right. The ayes have it. Minutes are approved. The next is a review of the open meeting law. I will ask Samantha Blevins from our office to provide the committee with a review of the open meeting law and how it applies to this committee. Sam.
Hi, the Free Expression Committee is a committee of the Board of Regents, and as such, this committee is subject to Arizona's open meeting law. This means all meetings of the Free Expression Committee must be public, where anyone can attend. Our meetings must have written minutes or a recording that's available within 3 working days after a meeting. Our meeting notices and agendas must be available and posted at least 24 hours before a meeting. Our agendas must list specific matters to be discussed, considered, and decided, and we can only discuss, consider, or decide what's on those agendas. We need a quorum of 8 or more committee members to meet or take action. This also means that a quorum of this committee cannot engage in committee business if not in a public meeting. There are penalties for violating open meeting laws, which range from nullification of legal actions taken in a meeting to civil penalties to removal from office. I am happy to answer any questions as to any open meeting laws that you may have.
Like the majority of the people on this Zoom are lawyers, but if there are committees, questions of the committee open meeting law, now is your time. Any issues? Seeing none, thank you, Sam. Appreciate the update. The item number 3 is the review of the statutory changes on the free expression to submit in the annual report. Sam, you have this item as well. Will you please lead us through, because there have been some changes?
No, it's the review of the charge. There actually hasn't been changes to our charge. The statute requires the Board of Regents to have a committee on free expression that submits an annual report to the governor, Speaker of the House, and the Senate President. The report has to describe barriers to or disruptions of free expression within the universities, describe the administrative handling and discipline relating to barriers or disruptions of free expression within the universities, describe substantial difficulties or controversies or successes in maintaining administrative and institutional neutrality. It has to include any assessments, criticisms, or recommendations from this committee, and an accounting of any student fees used to support or facilitate expression and activities of students and student organizations that were allocated in the past year.
Thank you, Sam. Any questions or comments on the charge? Not change, charge to the committee. Seeing none, we'll move to the substantive item in our agenda, which is review of the draft 2024 statutory report. Again, Ms. Blevins, will you provide an overview for the committee of the statutory report? All of you have received the report prior to this meeting and have assumed they're read and prepared to discuss. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. The statutory report has the information in much greater details, but it first discusses how the board and the universities do not tolerate barriers to or disruptions of free speech. It specifically discusses how all three universities experienced several on-campus conflicts presenting multiple viewpoints, and throughout all of them, our universities encourage free expression of all viewpoints within established content-neutral time, place, and manner restrictions. It discusses how all three universities have the highest green light rating from the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, FIRE, and that all three universities have adopted the Chicago Statement. It discusses how all universities responded to various allegations of disruptions and barriers to free speech, and how they really work together to support any sort of expressions within the context of the law. The report goes into detail how the three universities handled the student protests throughout the year, but particularly this past spring. While all three universities vigorously support free speech, including students' rights to protest, the universities did enforce viewpoint neutral rules, and in all cases at all the universities, or protesters were repeatedly asked to leave and warned, and the ones who refused to do so suffered some sort of consequences. The report highlights the board's and universities' commitment to administrative and institutional neutrality in allowing protected speech, even if the speech is found offensive by some people. For example, ABOR hosted the 5th Regents Cup, which is a tri-university speech and debate competition, which showcases and awards our university students articulating different viewpoints in an environment where competitors remain civil and respectful. This year, ASU took home its 3rd Regents Cup trophy. All three universities have incorporated information about free expression in their student orientations, and all three universities have hosted numerous panels, debates, and discussions touting the value of free expression and highlighting viewpoints of speakers from multiple perspectives, such as Charlie Kirk, Kamala Harris, and Dean Chemerinsky, to name a very few. The report finally, at the very end, provides the allocation of student activity fees that are used to support and facilitate expression and activities of students and student organizations. I would be happy to answer any questions specific to the report.
At this time, are there any questions or comments from committee members? Seeing none, I know that the committee members are very aware of this. All of you are deeply involved in either the protection of free speech, the defense of free speech, or in helping to support our students as they exercise their right to free speech. So I appreciate that. We look forward to submitting this report to the legislature, as we're required to do, and we can continue to do the good work and maintain our fire ratings as we move forward through this next year. So again, I appreciate all of the input from the committees in working and putting together this report. And I move the committee approve the proposed report and authorize Samantha Blevins to make non-substantive changes in preparation for submission to the board for approval at the August 29, 2024 meeting. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Any abstentions? The ayes have it. We've approved the report. This will appear on the board's August 29, 2024 agenda in preparation to be submitted to the legislature. Thank you again for all of your help and for taking your time to be part of this committee and for all you do to protect free speech and for our students. This concludes the Committee on Free Expression meeting. Hope the rest of you have a wonderful day. Thank you.